Hey guys, Zach here. Just wanted to do a follow-up video. A couple days ago I did a video, an unboxing video for the Spyderco Southard. I'm not really entirely sure how you pronounce his name. Sorry, Brad. Maybe somebody can let me know exactly how his last name is pronounced. I did an unboxing vid anyway for this little beauty. And I've been carrying it around for a few days, and I just wanted to go ahead and follow it up with initial impressions in comparison to a few of these other blades you see out here on the table. So first off, many of you know it's Spyderco's first flipper. It's a collaboration with custom knife maker Brad Southard. We'll get it right. It has a CTS 204P blade steel, which I've heard is similar to Crucible's M390. Okay, so all of you blade snobs out there, you blade steel snobs, that's what you're getting with this. It's a Taiwanese produced, and for the first Taiwanese produced Spyderco that I have owned, the fit and finish on it is amazing. I am really impressed, really very impressed with how this thing is put together. You get just over a just under a 3.5 inch blade. I think it's 3.4 and change. Overall length of 4.5 and an overall weight of just over 4 ounces. So it's a perfect little EDC size. Sits really well in the pocket. The way it sits here with this curve, it's really very comfortable in pocket actually. And after carrying a lot of larger knives more recently, I was digging having this one for the past few days. It doesn't get banged up against my keys or anything too bad. The detent is perfect. The detent is absolutely perfect for a flipper. The flipper is nice, and I'm coming around to flippers. I wasn't too sold on them for the past several years, but I thought they were more of a novelty than anything. But after owning a few, I am really liking them. I love that the flipper becomes a finger guard and so forth. It's just sweet. They're just very sweet. So I'm a flipper convert, if you will. All right, so flips perfectly. When I took this thing out of the box the other day, I looked at this little tiny nubby flipper with no jimping on it, and I was thinking to myself, damn, how is that gonna work? Am I gonna be able to flip that open as effortlessly as I am some of the other knives that I have? Well, the answer to that is yes, and yes. It's probably one of the smoothest flippers that I own, which is pretty amazing for this thing coming out of Taiwan, at least in my opinion. Their quality control must be amazing. Alright, so get it up to the camera here. It's a titanium frame lock. The titanium is stonewashed, and you get G10, brown G10. It only comes in this color currently. You get a G10 little inlay here, a little insert that acts as the lock bar over travel. Open pillar construction. I believe both the locking side and the non-locking side are both titanium. They're both stonewashed beautifully. The non-locking side, get the camera, get the light in there, you can see the liners are actually milled out to cut down on some of the weight. You get only one pocket clip carry option, tip up, right hand carry is what it's set up for. And just a nice little slicer. Right when I took it out, the first day I had it, I went and just hacked up a bunch of boxes. I don't know what I was thinking. I normally don't do that when I get a brand new knife. Just don't like to beat them up right away, but I wanted to see how it would slice. It's hollow ground, and it slices amazing, and it is still crazy sharp. So I've never owned any blades with this steel. I do have a Griptilian from GPK in M390. And it holds its edge crazy good as well. So if it's anything like that, I'm sure it will be impressive for all you armchair metallurgists out there. Alright, so there you go. There's the overall look and feel of it. Ergonomics are good, both, you know, with your regular grip or reverse grip. Good both ways. You get your Spyderco hole here also. As you can see, you can deploy that way. It's just not quite as quick or as fun as playing with the flipper. The lock bar is incredibly easy to disengage. Not too easy that it's going to, fold in on you or anything like that, but I don't know if I have a weak thumb or what, but I can just get in there with my thumb no problem and close it up. So very fun to play with. If you guys interested in the lockup, I'd say it's about 35–40%, somewhere right around there. Locks up good, solid, no issues whatsoever, no lock stick. On this side you can see that the lock bar, and I actually like this design feature when knife makers do this, is just a little bit higher. It's still dished out, so it's kind of like a finger choil, but it's a little bit higher than the G10 or whatever's on this other side, and you can just get your thumb in there without having to force it in and just tear your thumb up to disengage your lock bar. Your relief on your lock is got these nice little cut channels in it, very beautiful. Very nice looking little blade. Okay, the blade also, if I haven't mentioned, is also stone washed. So a couple of criticisms, and I'm not trying to beat up on this knife, guys. I know that I'm in love with it. I love it. I know a lot of you guys will be or are. But a couple things that I've noticed that aren't perfect for me, and I don't think any knife, very few knives are perfect for everybody. So take everything that you hear on the internet and on the forums with a grain of salt. You know, formulate your own opinions. Okay, the jimping is not really awesome. It's not terrible, but it's not the best. It's not Spyderco quality jimping anyway, like you have on, you know, your Para 2. You know, your Para 2 or any your other Spyderco models that have this little hump. This jimping, especially since this is just straight across, you'd think it would be just a little bit more aggressive. It's fairly smooth on the blade. It's okay back here on the handles where it's, the jimping continues onto the handles, but it's not the greatest. It's not the greatest jimping. Now that being said, you do have this little dished out area here on the blade right in front of the spider hole. That is perfect. That is absolutely comfortable and perfect for putting your thumb to do any kind of fine cutting that you might be doing with it. So slight knock on it for the jimping. Okay. The pocket clip is just, I don't know, it's a cheesy pocket clip. Let's call a spade a spade. This is a cheap pocket clip for such a beautiful, you know, higher end knife. Actually, I'm thinking about sending this thing out and having somebody make me maybe a titanium pocket clip, because this pocket clip does not do this knife justice, how nice this knife is. You know, it's like you put together this beautiful knife and let's just throw a cheap stainless pocket clip, you know, on it to save some more cost. Well, now I'd pay the extra money to get something that's fitting of this knife. The design of it, how it rides in the pocket, you know, how it fits in my pants, perfect, fine, everything with it's good, but it's just a cheapy stainless look that kind of mucks up this knife a little bit, at least for me. The lanyard hold kind of also has that cheapy feel. If you've got any of the Chinese produced Spideys, their lanyard hole is just a tube that's pressed through here. Kind of gives it a little bit of a cheap feel as well. One last thing, this finger choil area here, it's very beautifully milled. You can see how it's milled out here. Well, it's actually a little bit sharp, okay? Doesn't bug me too much, you know, when I have my finger in there, in the finger choil area, but it is just a little bit sharp. That would have been nice if that was radius just ever so slightly. Which brings me to my last point, my last criticism, I guess. Right here where my finger is, this little corner is actually pretty sharp. That has bugged me in a few different ways that I've had my grip on this knife. First couple times I had it choked up just a little too much, and that piece would poke into my middle finger. Now if I adjust a little bit I can miss it, but there is a little bit of a hot spot there, and depending on how you hold it and your grip, that might be an issue for you, so I thought I'd point it out. Alright, beautiful little knife again. Absolutely love it so far. Crazy good slicer, like I said. Here we are compared to, you know, your benchmark Spyderco model, one of your benchmark Spyderco models, how it compares. You're getting just a little bit more blade length out of the Southard, the flipper, and just a little bit shorter handle. So it's definitely a good EDC size, especially for me. About 3.5 inches is almost perfect for me for EDC. You get this nice small handle, it sits in your pocket nice. So you just get those on camera to compare. Of course, everybody likes to compare to Chris Reeve stuff. Here's my Noomzon. Here's how it compares with that. You see, it's got a little bit thicker blade stock. Very, very similar in length. The Numzam is just really a tiny bit longer in blade length. But again, you're getting a shorter handle and overall lighter package in your Southard flipper. And then here we go, we'll compare with just our standard Griptilian. Alright, so you're getting a very similar sized handle, very similar width. The Griptilian's just a little bit wider because that FRN handle, kind of plasticky handle, bulges out. But you're getting a little bit longer blade than the Griptilian. So there's your size comparisons, and I thought I'd just show you a few because it was a little smaller than I thought it would be when I put the pre-order in ages ago. I think because so many nut makers are making just huge beefy knives. That being said, it doesn't take anything away from this. Good blade length for me, good weight, rides in the pocket amazing, and just absolutely a joy to flip. Just playing with it all day long. Okay, get your minds out of the gutters. Playing with the knife, the flipper, perverts. Anyway, that's about it. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, these are just my opinions again, but thanks for watching, and post any comments down below. See ya.